too close. I think we're right back to square one.
Let's begin it.
Welcome back to our channel.
Yes. Yes.
Today we are going to be explaining the story of how we met and
Where we are today.
how we got to where we are today.
Not that it's any better.
So we met summer before senior year at a party. I don't even think we talked at the party, really.
No.
Actually, we did.
I got a beer. Yeah, you gave me a beer.
Well,
No, I meant you had an ice chest.
You didn't drink beer in high school. You were under 21.
Oh, yes.
I handed you a Capri Sun.
Yeah. So then I slid into her DMs, but back in the day it was Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we started.
And then we graduated high school in May of 2012.
Yep.
And Mark was leaning towards Coast Guard, and I went into cosmetology school, but
Coast Guard didn't really work out, and I enlisted in the Navy.
he was stationed in Guantanamo Bay, right?
Yep, for 2.5 years.
Business.
Oh! Yeah.
She bit you?
Yeah.
So then after Cuba, that puts us into, well, actually, rewind. While he was in Cuba, I finished up cosmetology school.
Yep.
Decided it wasn't the route for me.
Yep.
So then I went into nursing assistant.
Yep.
And I worked that pretty much the whole time he was gone.
I came home on leave, and we ended up going to Naval Base to go pick orders.
Fallon.
Was number 5.
It was 4 California and 1
And
Nevada.
1 Nevada.
And here we are today.
Insert location here.
Desert. Middle of nowhere.
Okay.
Insert tumbleweed here. So we moved out of here in
March of 2016. And the first day, you remember the first day?
No.
So the first day, like, we drove up here after like an 9 hour drive. We drove up here. We had a U-Haul, like some trailers.
I think we had like 2 U-Hauls.
Yeah, and I've never lived in snow, neither has she. My mom wakes up, she wakes us up the next day, and she goes, "Oh my God, look outside!" And like our backyard is literally covered in snow.
Yeah.
And we were like, WTF. It was me, Ralph, and Becky.
Yep.
Moving into the house on our own.
So we moved into the house, and then Mark still had about 2 weeks before he had to check into the naval base. Monkey's gonna knock the camera over right now.
Yep, 3, 2, 1.
Jump forward to April. Mark checks in to the Fallon and officially starts his job over there. I found a position maybe like 3 months after we lived here.
Yeah.
Over at the nursing home down the street. Fast forward to end of 2017. It was like Christmas time, and I had told Mark that I was late, but didn't really think too much of it because that was normal. So we really didn't focus on it. Come beginning of
Somebody popped her noodle.
2018, I was still super late. So we took a test, and
I cried.
It was positive.
I cried.
So I remember it was at nighttime, and Mark was working nights at the time, so I was home alone. And I was at the store, and I just grabbed one.
Can you?
Just for the heck of it.
Yep.
And I took the test, and I left it, and I went about doing other things and actually forgot. And when I came back, I flipped it over and it said pregnant. I like burst into tears, called Mark at work.
She called me and I was like, "What's wrong? You know, are you okay? Are you in a traffic accident? Are you, hurt?"
Yeah, Mark thought the house was being
I thought the house was being robbed or something. And she goes, "I'm pregnant." And I cried.
We finally got over the initial like shock. Mark, that's my new rug.
I know.
She's not hungry.
I gotta get rid of it.
Well, you gotta eat it. You gotta eat it. You spilled it on my rug. Is it good?
I'm sorry, girl.
Okay, let me clean that up.
We'll get you some In-N-Out here in a bit.
At this time, I was working at a different job. Everyone was super supportive when we found out. The family was super happy. So we're back.
Technical difficulties.
We went into our 39-week appointment on the 21st, and I was already having contractions that morning. And then we scheduled a C-section.
But when she was having contractions, I called my family and was like, "Hey."
Yeah.
Remember, I called my mom. I was like, "Hey, she's having contractions. but the doctor said they were back to pace, and she's like, oh, well, I'm gonna come up anyway.
And my mom was here already at the time, but my dad wasn't.
Yeah, and then we went out to dinner that night.
Well, pause. We scheduled a C-section because when the doctor did an ultrasound at that appointment, he determined that Amelia was gonna be big. Like,
her head.
He told me she was gonna be 9 pounds.
Like a huge noodle.
So at that time we scheduled a C-section for the 23rd.
So then we went to dinner. We come home and she goes lay on the couch and she's like screaming in pain.
I was not screaming.
She was hurting pretty bad.
So anyways, the contractions were getting closer together and they were like 3 to 5 minutes apart. So we flew down to the hospital. We called my dad and sister at that time and they got on the road. They got us into a room and I was only 1 centimeter at the time. They wanted to do my C-section that night, which is still Wednesday night.
But somebody's over here that's stubborn. Wait.
No, I wanted my sister and my dad to have time to get there.
Yeah.
They did the C-section and Monkey was born at 6:03.
Yeah.
We had Munch. What?
She just rolled by in her mobile.
2,000 years later.
So I didn't want to get married until I got out of the Navy, but pregnancy thing happened, so I had to propose.
You had to propose?
Yeah.
You didn't want to propose?
I had to propose early.
Yeah.
So I had to propose early.
You were excited to propose early.
Yes.
So he proposed at Disneyland, and we got married 2 days later at
The courthouse.
At the courthouse.
Yep.
With our family, and.
But don't worry, we're gonna have a giant reception when I get out of the Navy.
Yep. Yeah, that's the story of how we got to where we are today.
I think she's ready to end it. Go ahead, Munch, end it. She says like, subscribe.
We hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you did.
Oh, I thank you.
Subscribe if you haven't already, and help us get to our goal of reaching 300.
Okay, bye!
Bye!
That's my line.
One more, and smile for here. Oh, look at that. Oh.